Well, I got a simple common sense observation on something. I've already figured this out a while ago. You know, why is big oil allowing industrial hemp now? Or maybe they're not allowing it, but what's their plans? Because they can't fight the power, the flow of the truth. The truth is mighty and it shall prevail. The truth actually is that hemp is a more vital commodity than oil, and it can replace oil. And it could be, green the earth at the same time, which is a big supposed problem with greenhouse gases. I don't believe that garbage. But anyway, with all the pollution and stuff from extracting oil and everything else, it's the industrialization of the world. So when you're growing hemp for materials, you're cleaning up the air at the same time. But what angle are they going to get in on? Oh, it's simple as all hell. And it's the most precious commodity of all, the one that nobody thinks about. It's almost like the American Indian way back, before the white man came on the land. I used to think, everybody owns the land. Everybody owns the streams, the fish. Everybody owns the birds and the animals in the woods. We all share it, right? Right now, actually the most precious commodity on the entire earth is something that people don't think about, and I got it right here. It's water. Water. And you know what? What is hemp going to take? If we start growing, we have make acres and acres of more land that is going to be under cultivation due to trying to grow our own type of fuel. We're going to have a more higher requirement for irrigation and water. So, already, the oil industry has already been moving into this. It's been known for years. And right now, it's not really on the spotlight because it's not, people aren't noticing it right now. It's almost like things that happened way back in 1900, seem, at the time, the way things were and the way things are now, it's so different that, people just can't imagine. They'll probably tax the hell out of water. It'll probably be a social tax on water or whatever the hell it is. They'll get their cut one way or the other unless you stop them. Because basically water just recycles. The plant uses it up, it goes into the ground, it evaporates. It's always there. It never goes away. It never gets used up. But somebody's gonna charge for it. I'll guarantee you that. They're going to charge for it. That's exactly what's going to happen. It could be argued even there's plenty of oil on this earth too. Maybe there's oil coming from the center of the earth. Who knows? Maybe there's a hell of a lot more oil out there than the oil industry ever freaking admits. But this peak oil stuff's been talked about for the last 40 years. But in the case of water, it never really goes away. It doesn't go like out in the atmosphere and disappear. It comes back down the earth. That's all there is to it. But that is actually how they're going to make their cut. They'll make their cut through the control of water. So when they start growing a hell of a lot more hemp, there's going to be a lot more land under cultivation. There's going to be a lot more irrigation. And yes, I know under certain types of depends on what type of oil extraction process there is. They use a lot of water also. Up in Canada, in the tar sands of that particular type of operation, they use a lot of water in extracting oil anyway. But the thing is, that's where the oil industry, you're talking about the most powerful industry on this earth. And it's through energy they control everything. But it would actually be more controlled if they control water. Water. And they can. They can. They stopped us from doing so many different things. Actually, hemp, Rudolf Diesel, when he developed a hemp to diesel engine, it was supposed to be run on hemp oil. Not stuff from crude oil. Actually hemp oil specifically. Not even just plant-based oil, not even just peanut oil. Hemp oil. Hemp oil. That's what Rudolf Diesel, when he developed the diesel engine, that's what it was supposed to be run on. And of course, they found him dead lying in the water someplace. Somehow he had an accident somehow, and Nothing was. I don't know how the hell that happened. It was very suspicious circumstances. Maybe he was murdered. I don't know. I mean, could be. It could be. But that's exactly why they're, maybe they're allowing it somewhat, or maybe they're not fighting. It's like money is almost works like lightning, or those type of people. It's almost like you take the path of least resistance where the money is, and if it becomes harder and harder resistance in the oil, they'll go to something else. But they've already been going to water. And actually, if you look at a lot of the UN crisis things they publish about, the global water shortage. A lot of places in China don't have enough potable water and stuff, and there's a lot of places on this earth that don't have enough potable water. There's a global water shortage. That's what they'll move into. And hemp is going to require water to grow. You're going to have irrigation. So if you're going to start replacing a significant amount of oil with hemp, hempoline or hemp oil used for diesel oil, or whatever, diesel oil coming from hemp oil, guarantee you these guys are going to they're going to have a charge on it. And that's just how it is. It's almost like incomprehensible, but the American Indian just couldn't find it. He found it incomprehensible the way society changed. People are control freaks. They take a cut out of something they shouldn't be taking a cut out of. It's just like, Americans allowed their monetary system to go to a cartel of banks versus having the Congress issue the money, even if it was fiat. If it was issued interest-free, we wouldn't have debt, right? But now somebody's got to have a cut. So that's what the oil industry is going to do. I'll guarantee it. They'll probably be in the hemp industry too. But even if they're not directly in the hemp industry, I almost guarantee their goal is to control water and regulate water and charge for water up the yin yang. So there you go. That's exactly what I think they're going to do. It's a guarantee. Because they've already stated so for many years. After oil, the oil industry is going into water management. And if you look at, we actually do have global shortages of water. These guys are not stupid. They're not stupid. They're evil, but they're not stupid. That's all I got to say. So anyway, that's really what's going to happen. We might have one issue solved and another issue coming up. Actually, the problem I see with these guys, it's the middle class, or most people, do not fight back, and it's just human nature. They're lethargic. They don't want to get involved in things. It's usually the people that fight back are usually too much of giddy minds too. It's almost like you gotta just be intelligent and fight back in a rational way and not burn yourself out on it either. That's the other thing, because it seems that the people that do fight back, they worry warts and they worry about every damn thing every single day, and you shouldn't be like that. But the vast majority of people are extremely lethargic, because they will say, oh, that ain't going to happen for 10 years or 20 years, or it's not going to happen in my lifetime, and they don't do a damn thing about it, because they're concerned about me, myself, and I. So that's really how things get screwed up. That's really how things get screwed up. But the oil industry, they've already talked about it many times. They're going into water. So if the hemp industry explodes, to new levels, and we got all this all kinds of land under cultivation, and we're growing hemp left and right, there's going to be lots of irrigation, and there's going to be lots of fees. Lots of fees going into the water industry. So how's that? Anyway, it's not a guess, it's a guarantee. I know what they're going to do. Now, unfortunately, most people are too lethargic to stop it. That's the problem. And it's easy to stop in the beginning, because it's like an ounce of prevention is worth like 100 pounds of cure, or maybe a ton of cure. It's easy to stop in the beginning. So just beware of what these clowns are up to, because I already know. Hey, you know, I think the same way. What can I say? It's easy to tell.